Good day, guys. On another episode, still talking about our societal issue. I'd like to discuss on a flawed, intentionally flawed societal system in Nigeria. I want to put our awareness to it and to make us think deep about it. And this will start from why our society is so messed up. I don't know if that word is allowed, and how it has been like this for centuries. I mean, before independence, anyway. The first analysis I will bring is, for example, when you go to a developed country, let's say an European country, there are ways of life, there are ways of societal management. Even a reckless person in Nigeria, for example, if he goes to an European country, you have to coordinate because this is what you see them do. You have to live by it. And a thief in Nigeria, a reckless person in Nigeria, for example, if he was born in an European country, or let's say the United States of America, would probably have a better life or make personal better decisions. Let me put it this way. When growing up as a child, you see that the situation of your society is all about survival. It's all about, surviving the next day. It's all about not caring for humanity and nothing, concerns you with the next person. It's just a survival mode. There's no humanity, there's no civilization. This is what you unconsciously imbibe in your personality. Do you get? But for situations that you grow up to a society that is well arranged, that it is well tamed, that see others as brothers, needs to show love, you will live in this way. People grow up to recklessness. For example, in Nigeria, people grow up to recklessness of the society, and this automatically gets imbibed in their personality. And once this gets imbibed, they see it as a way of survival, way of life. On the contrary of an European country, for example, while growing up, you see that this is the civil thing to do, this is the right thing to do. You would never for a second comprehend the reason why people, should be extremely corrupt, should, steal, should. Or now, I'm not now saying that there are no exemptions. There will always be few exemptions, no matter how good some things are, they will still be bad. But it will be tamed and it will be controlled. No matter how bad some set of people are, there will still be some set of good people. And that is why in Nigeria you still have some corrupt free individuals, some people that have even good hearts, even with all the situations happening around. So, and in a situation whereby almost everybody is good, you still have a little number that are not good as well. The criminals are not. But my insinuation is that it will be well tamed, it will be well controlled, and it's whatever you grow up seeing and learning is what you imbibe as your way of life. A reckless person in Nigeria, like I said before, if you had grown up in United States or something and you understood the requisite of life, of loving each other and growing up together, you will accord that first. You will not be reckless. A local government worker in Nigeria, for example, when starts the job, he or she saw what the boss is doing, taking a little bit of profit, cutting profit, and doing this. It seems like the normal thing to do. Subsequently, you follow suit. In a situation in a developed country that that protocols are strictly adhered to here, you cannot do that. You have to stick with the patterns because your subconsciousness will not even give you a second thought of probably trying to steal or cut balances and all of that. But like I said the other time too, there are a few exemptions, but it's always easy to control. So going into this kind of situation in our society of seeing corruption as a way of life was an intentionally, flawed pattern from the imperialists, from our independence to our, Republican situation. So it's a Republican situation. Now, after when there was noise and agitation, agitation for us to be independent as a nation. The imperialists still wanted, to be in control, to be in charge. And this is when they, implanted their puppet, which I won't try to be mild with it. Tafawa Balewa, the portrayed hero of Nigeria, Tafawa Balewa, was implanted to do the bids of the colonial masters. Because they didn't have option, every country was getting independence, every country was detaching themselves for, but the British people still want to be in charge. So what did they do? They implanted a puppet. When the Nigerian society understood that this is becoming, very serious, it was what bettered the first Nigeria coup. It became so crass, it became so serious, and I still don't want to, talk into the whole how the northern Nigeria was left uneducated intentionally to be able to, to make self-decisions, while they use them to drive the agenda of the Westerners, the colonial masters. I don't want to even talk about that yet. But I'm trying to talk about why this is intentionally done, the corruption is intentionally imbibed, and to keep the, society, the system flawed. It's an intentional plan from the start. So when everybody is going up to it, we grow up to the mode of survival, and that's why you see a regular citizen saying that if I become this thing, if I won't go chop money. If I become this one, I won't go chop money. Because this is what they're growing to understanding. You will not see a regular citizen of a developed country saying, even if at all he even has that kind of intention, he will not be boastful about if I reach there, I won't go chop money. It has intentionally been implanted to this pattern of the society. Now, like the video I made a couple of days ago, somebody was saying that truly I pointed these things out, but what are the way forward? For example, about this intentionally flawed societal system, there has to be more awareness starting from the local government. If I'm not wrong, Nigeria has 774 local governments, and every local government has to be conscious of this thing. Every local government has to, to reconfigure their mindset about, how to improve their way of life. Because, truth be told, the leaders are the product of the citizens. People that are even condemning Tinubu, they might be, privileged to get there and be worse than him. This is how the society has been configured to do. The reconfiguration and awareness of every citizen, starting from the local government, is what can take effect. And even talking in that line, I would like to talk about my last video about the insecurity and what are the things to do and all of that. Because and another point is that the people in power plays the card of it's the opposition that is trying to ruin them, and this is why they are coming up with all these kidnappings and all of them to tarnish their image. Let me put this as an example. Donald Trump is arguably the most powerful man on earth. As oppositions, as people against him. But if these people wants to come with kidnappings or something that can tarnish, their image or his image, what will he do? Even the opposition will be like, this guy is powerful, he's going to suppress us, so you will not even want to attempt it. You have to command that fear and respect. You don't make excuses. Now, when you have captured and conquered this type of, propagandists, then it gives you more respect and gains you more respect and power, and you imbibe the fear in others that probably trying or attempting to subsequently try to penetrate or bring your name through that. And that is why it is important that you don't allow, if at all even it's the opposition, you are supposed to crush them finally and not tolerate any form of your name wreckage and be using that as an excuse, even though we all both know that this is not a situation of opposition trying to ruin your reputation. So that is not an excuse. It needs effectiveness. We need to steadily stage effective protest. For example, the kidnapping in Oyo, you will be surprised that the teachers are still going to work in other local governments. A situation whereby the NUT and the teachers and everybody, the schools in Oyo State are supposed to be on standstill till these students are being, recovered. They are still going to school. The foreigners parties, the Islamic Association Oyo chapter are saying that let's do 3 days fasting so that they can release them. Why? There should be a steady, effective protest, not just protest, brewed up by opposition or nothing not effective. We are supposed to, in major situations, to put the country on standstill. You can't fault any teacher or any student that refuse to go to school at this point. They're supposed to be. This protest does not even need you to go out. NUT can shut down and declare that no schools until these children are seen. What about the labor union? Very, very ineffective. But if the followers and members have the agitation, of a better country, even the leader of these associations and unions will not have an option. So we have to be more agitated as people. We need to make effective protest, and protest is not even all about carrying placard and all of these things. Sometimes there are more reasonable ways, logical ways to pass a strong message to people in power. I dog the sense of the yam. So there are more things to be done rather than just sitting down. Like I said, these are a configuration that has been effected since independence because we have to be on our own. So this has been effected, and over the years the strings has been followed. Only awareness of consciousness act will make people, just like our politicians when they travel abroad, the whole convoy and the noise and everything. You see them just going in one car, you see them just wearing native and doing, because that is how that society works. If somebody like Sheyi Tinubu was born in the United States and grew up in the United States, and that is the mentality we have. But he grew up to see the likes of Obasanjo, his father, Fayoshi, all of them doing a long convoy. So it's the normal thing. These are part of the wrong configuration. The society abhors corruption a lot. You can use your power excessively in our country, but you can't do that in a foreign country. Even the whole powerful and everything in this Nigeria, when they get there, they are well coordinated because they know this is how the rules should be. If it has been like this, they know it is hostile for any, they know it's hostile. If they know the society is hostile towards this, they won't continue. Thank you for backing.